Welcome to Creative Broadcasting, the station of unlimited possibilities, presents Creating Your Seat at the Table with your host, Ashley Little, as she welcomes her guest to the table.
Welcome to Creating Your Seat at the Table. I am your host, Ashley Little, corporate professional by day, entrepreneur by night, 5-time best-selling author, CEO and founder of Ashley Little Enterprises, LLC, owner and creator of Creative Broadcasting, and co-founder and owner of Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. Tonight we have an amazing special VIP guest by the name of Bianca Jackson. A little bit about her. Bianca Jackson is a social entrepreneur, storyteller, and speaker, and an award-winning project manager. She left her corporate job in September 2017 and turned her branding and marketing side hustle into a full-time consultant. Currently, Bianca is building her second business, a social enterprise called Brick Road Exchange, an event venue based in Baltimore, Maryland, designed for social entrepreneurs, community organizers, and purpose-driven professionals to attend and host meetings, trainings, discussions, and forums. Welcome to the table, the amazing Bianca Jackson.
Well, wow. Well, thanks for the introduction. That was really powerful.
Thank you. You have an amazing bio, as our listeners already have heard. So please tell us more about your entrepreneur journey.
Oh, yeah, it hasn't been easy. As you stated, I left in September 2017. And actually, I knew I was leaving way before that. I wrote my resignation letter in December with a date of August on it, August 2017. So I was just a 2 weeks shy of when I wanted to leave. But I just knew that I needed to be somewhere else. I needed to take my talents and make them make money for me. And that's literally how I started. A lot of people ask me, did I have a plan? Did I have enough money saved up? And, of course, I had a plan of what I thought would be the plan that would work out with no hiccups, right? And we all know that they say, if you want to make God laugh, tell them your plan. But by the time that I left, did I have all the money that I wanted to save up? No. I just knew that it was time to go, and I just had to be faithful and hopeful that it'll all work out. And, of course, I still kept to what I did have on my plan, but was willing to adjust. In the time, it's been 2 years now, and I'm going to say that it hasn't been easy, but one thing is that I haven't given up. So that's the most important part.
And that's always important, right? You rest but not quit. Rest
right.
but not quit.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to commend you for taking that jump, and look at you now, building your second business. So super congratulations on everything that you're doing.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I just knew that in doing a second business, it was more about building a platform, not just for myself but for other people. There's so many people in the world who have things to say, and they feel like they don't have a place to say it. So I wanted to create Brick Road Exchange as a way of them having a place to say the things that they want to say.
And that's so important, right, that we are able to have a voice, because our voices are powerful. So thank you for creating those spaces.
Yes, they are powerful.
And you are very passionate about building relationships and collaborating. So let's talk more about your passion.
Yeah, it's kind of a necessity when you're the oldest, right? So I'm the oldest of five, and you learn how to collaborate really early in life. And if you don't, you got to deal with your parents, right? But, being an older sister to my three sisters and my brother, I learned how to do that really early. And so throughout life, throughout work, throughout career, I've always known that you can get a whole lot farther collaborating. I think what the African proverb goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And I really do believe in that.
Yes, because that's so important. Collaboration is important that we do that, and that we effectively collaborate in order to get to the next level, which is what I want to go deeper into with you. So why is effective collaboration important in order to get to the next level? Because, I'm a big believer in, as I stated before, our destiny is tied to our connection. So can we talk more about that?
Sure, absolutely. I would say that, especially when it came to my entrepreneur journey, how I got here and where I'm at now has been the direct effect of relationships that I chose to build and the ones that people chose to build with me, and then also in fact of just maintaining them, right? Sometimes we have desire to achieve certain goals, but there are other people who hold the keys to the doors of our opportunity. And it's always a good thing to, of course, not just build relationships because they can do stuff. People can do things for you, but, you know, honestly, organically and authentically connecting with people who believe in the same things you do, so that when there is an opportunity for someone to open a door for you, they're more willing to do it. They're like, of course, no problem, versus you coming to them, they're like, oh, I'm not doing that, because that person always wants something. So collaboration works not just when you want something. It should be a lifelong, just a lifelong thing that we all work towards. We're all in this little petri dish together, as I've heard people describe it. And once we realize that when one thing happens, it affects us all, and then we take that and it's like, okay, how can we look at this as a holistic view and actually collaborate and make it better, then we will do so much better as a people, as a community, as humanity. So,
and I'm, you know, just to add on to what you're saying, because I'm a big believer in collaboration. Every relationship should be reciprocal, right? You know, what is your goal in relationships? Because my thing is, if you're not adding value to that person, then that's a one-sided relationship, and so both people should be walking away with abundance. So, can we talk more about that?
Oh, absolutely. I think every relationship should be win-win. And I know sometimes, like when I help out, you know, younger women or younger men, they're like, well, I don't know how to repay you. And sometimes them just being naturally who they are, you know, having a conversation and maybe them making me laugh or smile during the conversation is all the reciprocation that I need, because I could have had a bad day, right? I think that sometimes people feel like they don't have enough to give someone else, so therefore they may not even try to start that relationship. You just never know what's valuable to someone else. So, yes, every interaction, every friendship, every partnership, every collaborative effort should be a win-win on both sides, or else you're doing everybody a disservice at the table.
Yes, and thank you for sharing your knowledge on that, as well as I want to talk more about you know, why do you think people are afraid to collaborate?
It's a scarcity mindset, right? Like, if I give you mine, or I give you access to what I got, then that means you're going to steal it from me. You're going to take it from me. Someone told me one time, I write a lot, and I'm pretty big on LinkedIn, and I wrote about how I shared my dreams with someone, and then someone just kind of threw out this, like, really fear tactic. Oh, be careful who you tell your dreams to, because they might steal them. And I'm like, at the end of the day, if you want to try to steal the thing that I envision in my mind, go ahead and try it. You'll still never be able to execute it the way that I'm, you know, called to execute it. So I just think a lot of times people just operate from this very scarcity mindset. And if you look at the world as being abundant, right, that there's enough opportunity out there for everyone, there's enough money for everyone, there's enough chances and deals and just everything, then you start to look at the world differently. You start to show up differently in the world, and then your relationships are different, because people know that you're not there to take from them, but you're there to give. You're trying to help grow whatever community. So I just hope for anyone watching this, or not watching, but listening, I should say, that, you know, you start to change. If you are one of those people with a scarcity mindset, that, you know, what would happen if I would just think that people did have good intentions? What's going to happen is that you will start to attract people who have good intentions. So sometimes we can psych our own selves out about what we think is out there, you know, just scarcity. But I would just say, just try to switch it to think more of abundance.
Yes, and that's so important, right? Think more of abundance and go in wanting to genuinely help people and wanting to genuinely build genuine relationships. So thank you for touching on that, because that's so important.
Yeah, no problem.
So, Bianca, what are some strategies you would give to listeners, you know, when they're attending networking events? Because, you know, when people go to networking events, they think if I give out my card, then that's it. No, you got to follow up. You got to build a relationship. You know, let's talk about that.
Yes, let's talk about it. So this is going to be extremely helpful for the introverts out there. So I'm an introvert. A lot of people don't realize it, or they don't believe me when I tell them. So what I try to do before I even get to a networking event is find out who's going to be there. If I find out who's going to be there, then I can research them and figure out who I absolutely want to meet. And if I can't do that, I make a goal for myself. It's like, you know what, I have to get something out of this event. And what I mean get something out of, like, I set a goal, like, I'm going to meet 3 people, right? I'm going to at least talk to 3 people and listen intently for how, not only if we have any synergies, right, whether or not someone that I know in my network could use, could benefit from the opportunity of meeting this person. So sometimes when I go to network events, I'm not even there for me half the time. Like, I could be there for a friend who can't make it and just, you know, trying to meet people for them. So I think that that's the best way to look at networking events of, you know, one, trying to do your research beforehand. If you can't do it beforehand, at least make a goal for yourself of how many people to talk to. But then not only just talk, as you mentioned, what's your follow-up plan with that? I know it feels weird sometimes for people to email and call, hey, we met at so-and-so network event last night or yesterday, or you don't want to wait too long before you contact someone, because most people, we go through so many things in life that we don't even remember what we ate yesterday, right? So you want to try to follow up as quickly as possible, but then if you can, you know, network for your friends, network for your business partners, that makes you become even more valuable than you know. So I would say try to always listen, not just for yourself, listen for what the other person is saying about themselves, and also listen for people in your network that could use, you know, meeting the person that you're standing in front of.
And also, you know, when we're at networking events and stuff, you know, it's so important that we figure, you know, find out or do, like you said, do our research on how we can help make that person's life better, right? How can we intercede with them to bring value to them as well? So can we talk more about that, you know, on how to start those conversations and, you know, bring up something that you can help them do that they might need some help with based off your research that you've seen?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, this isn't even based off research. This is, like, real-life examples, right? So I was at an event once. It was a Black Males event in Baltimore, and I was talking to one of the gentlemen that runs a musical program, and then I asked him, so how can I help you? And, like, what's your biggest challenge? And what he said was not even in my wheelhouse. What he said was, I really need to find a busing company to bus my kids in the summer from the program to their homes or to a community center. So guess what? Even though this isn't my wheelhouse, I just kind of checked around just to see if there would be anyone who, one, had a connection to a bus company that would, you know, be willing to donate their services in kind, whether or not there was someone in my network that, you know, knew of someone who would be willing to do it at a discount. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to find anyone, but that didn't stop me from trying. And, you know, just being able to at least do that much, like, it would have been amazing if I could have found someone, but, you know, I really wanted to try to help this man because the program that he was running really benefited the children. I think sometimes when we go to networking events and if we're not fully aware and conscious of how that person's work is affecting the world, we can get really selfish about our resources. So the fact that he was helping inner city kids, you know, learn a skill, a trade through music, like their love of music. I'm like, I want to help in some way. I don't know how, but I'm going to try. So I would just say just be open to not always trying to get something directly out of an interaction or some type of networking event.
And I just love how you emphasize, you know, asking that, you know, maybe when you're in networking events or when you're approaching people in general, asking them, how can I help you, right? How can I help you? So that's so important for our listeners that are listening, you know, in order to effectively network and collaborate. So, Bianca, let's talk more about your consulting business, you know, and your services and how we can support and get involved.
Oh, great. So I actually have 2 businesses, so I'll talk specifically around LinkedIn. So primarily what I do is I work with speakers, coaches, trainers, consultants, people who want to become thought leaders and attract, you know, speaking engagement. So most people use speaking as a way of growing their business for, like, lead generation. So I do a lot of that work, and I do it on LinkedIn. So if you want to reach out to me, you can definitely connect with me there. Bianca J. Jackson on LinkedIn. I have about 40,000 followers. I myself have been able to land a ton of speaking engagements. I think between now, well, from between the end of the year, up in 2018 to the end of the year, I think I've logged maybe about 50 to 55 speaking events in maybe like a 24-month period or 21-month period, whatever. But I know what I'm doing when it comes to this type of work of really becoming a thought leader in your space or whatever it is that you do. And then with that, providing this platform through the Art Gallery meeting space that I have in Baltimore, another one of my loves is art, so kind of like why I was really insistent about helping the man with the music program because, for me, music is a part of art. But I run the gallery, I rent it out to people who are looking for customer appreciation events, board retreats, staff meetings, you name it. So I'm really trying to make a mark in Baltimore, not for me, but like literally the community and giving them opportunities to see just, something new, something different. I was talking to a friend of mine and we were talking about like how is meeting space reimagined, right? It's not your typical stuffy conference room, like there's a space filled with art and discussions and social dialogue and I don't know, I can go on forever talking about that space, but so that's what I'm involved in right now.
Awesome. So definitely connect with Bianca. She's definitely someone to know and somebody to connect with. And we already kind of talked about Brick Rose Exchange. So did you have anything else you want to add about your amazing business with Brick Rose?
Yeah, so right now I'm doing a heavy push towards corporations, companies, nonprofits that are looking for 2-day, 3-day events for the space. Like I want to be able to do all the fun stuff that I love doing. So we have a resident artist program where they come in and they show their work and they literally pay like a very nominal fee, like $25, but they get so much from us, like a full day in the gallery, they get their work listed on the website. We do business training with them. So I still want to be able to do all that fun stuff, but we need the big dogs, like the big clients to come in so that we can do the fun stuff and really impact the community through economic empowerment, especially the artist community. I was just having this conversation that a lot of people are still saying like that's starving artists. Well, artists don't have to starve if we find ways to support them. So this is just one way to support them.
Well, thank you for creating that space because that's a needed space there. And art is so beautiful, right? So thank you for creating that space for our artists.
No problem.
So I know you built multiple tables for yourself and you're continuing to build those, but I asked all of my guests this question, Bianca. How did you create your seat at the table?
You know what? I was always the kid that was off in the corner building my own table in the first place. Like, I just didn't really subscribe to anyone telling me no. So, no, that sounds so elitist at times, but no is just an opportunity for me to figure it out on my own. And that's how I look at it. So, I come from North Philadelphia. I'm a North Philly girl. I now live in Baltimore, and, I come from a working-class family, so I'm one of the first in my family to go to college, one of the first, in addition to my parents to actually own a home. I'm one of the first, graduate degree now on a commercial building. So no doesn't sit well with me. So if I can't do something through a traditional system, I go outside the system outside of the matrix to do what I need to do. So yeah, that's pretty much how I continue to build tables, and I just hope to meet other people and link up with other people who believe the same thing. Like, stop letting people tell you no and just go do it yourself.
And I'm so glad you said it because it's so important that you connect with like-minded people and that you are in the right environments at the right tables, right? Because, your network is your net worth. I'm a big believer in that.
Right. Oh, absolutely. And I just hope that anyone else watching this get out of that bubble of, well, I don't know her, so I don't want to get to know her. Like, we don't live in a Facebook world. Once everyone realizes that, again, we're in this petri dish together and that it would make better sense to actually work together and find ways to support each other, that we can make leaps and bounds when it comes to, economic development in our communities, cultural awareness and appreciation. I mean, just all types of stuff.
Yes, and I definitely agree about that. And I know on our journeys, we all have a process, right? And people don't like to go through the pain, but the pain is necessary in order to get to the next level. So what did failure teach you, Bianca?
Failure to me is not trying. Failure to me is that on my final days, whenever I meet my maker, that he or she or whoever, right, shows me what I could have been if I had tried. That to me is failure, and I know that was like super deep and probably spiritual, probably for a lot of people listening to that. But I never want to be on my deathbed or at that end point in my life and saying or regretting anything because I didn't try. So if I tried and I failed, that's okay. I learned. I didn't fail. So that's kind of like how I look at failure.
And that's so important, right? Because it's a lesson, right? It's a lesson. I look at it as a lesson for us to get up and try again and do it better.
Yeah, pretty much. And I mean, the real interesting thing is that so many people are definitely afraid of trying, that they'll stay in situations for years because they're too afraid to see what's on the other side of the door. I'm sorry, I spent almost 20 years working in corporate, and I was like, okay, I got to close this door. There got to be something else better on the other side of it because, my soul hurts. And I can say with complete honesty, like, this is the freest I've ever been in my life. And I'm going to keep, working towards or maintaining that freedom, I should say. Like I said before, it hasn't been easy, but I can honestly say that I control my time. And time is the most valuable commodity that we all have.
Because that's one thing we cannot get back. So that is so important. It's so important to use it wisely. So what did success teach you? Because you're very successful.
Success for me, quite plainly, is just being happy. Being happy, being able to control my own time. And I never realized, like, how important this next thing that I'm about to say is like being able to dictate who comes into your space and who doesn't. I don't think that we give enough weight. We don't give ourselves sometimes enough agency to say, you know what, I'm not really feeling this environment. I'm not really feeling this crowd of people. I really want to be over here. Or I really love having this person around. I really love being around this group of people. Let me be around them and just do more of that. That is success for me, being able to control who's in my space or invite and disinvite to my space. That's what success is to me.
That, you know what? And I wish I could hit the button 500 times for that. You're able to control who is in your space, right? That is so important because that's so important that you have the right people around you. You surround yourself in the right environment. Because, sometimes you let those toxic people get in, it could ruin your destiny. So thank you for touching on that because that's so important.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you wanted to hit the button 5 times. No, it's something that I had to learn. I would say you had to learn this year the hard way. It's just like a really good friend of mine and my business advisor is just like, Bianca, you're way too nice. That you have people around you that don't deserve to be there, and they keep hurting you. And I said, you know what, you're right, with tears in my eyes. And I had to start letting those people go because it wasn't for my higher good. So now that I know the lesson, it's just like, all right, now I wash it all away, cleanse it away. It's just like, all right, let me continue to create this environment of love and attracting people who love me and care about me and want to actually see me win. So I'm just like, I got to control the environment about who comes in and who doesn't.
Yes, that's so important. So thank you, Bianca, for touching on that. I mean, I'm so passionate about that because, you have to control, protect your energy and your peace and your dreams and your visions. So thank you. So what can we expect from you the rest of 2019? We just walked into quarter 4 today, and I know Bianca Jackson is going to finish strong. So what can we expect from you?
You know what? That's a really great question. I would say the expectation is you're going to see more activity around LinkedIn. I'm doing more speaking engagements. I got some things up my sleeve, like a book that's coming out. I got to figure out exactly when it's coming out in 2020, but really all the speaking engagements will be directed towards that, and not necessarily how to use LinkedIn, but it's more about the power of connection, right? So the power of connection, the power of collaboration. How do you authentically build these relationships, and even if they start online, how can you authentically build them, maintain them over years? And I'll talk a lot about that in the different speaking engagements, and also the book that's releasing next year. And then also I'm going to be bringing that same theory, that same energy, that same vibe to the space. Like, how can you connect authentically and collaborate authentically in a space like Book Words Exchange? So that's what you can expect to see.
So definitely be on the watch for Bianca Jackson. She's definitely a woman to watch, okay, and somebody to connect with. So listeners, make sure you are connecting with her. So Bianca, please tell our listeners how they can connect with you on all social media platforms.
Oh, man. So first and foremost, LinkedIn, Bianca J. Jackson. As soon as you put in the J, you will see my name. I will pop to the top most likely. You can find me on Instagram. It's the same thing, Bianca J. Jackson. I actually just recently opened it up to the public, so I'm going to be out there and exposed. Those are probably the two best ways to get in contact with me. My website is the same thing, BiancaJJackson.com. And then the website for the space is brickwordsexchange.org. So like brick, like on the wall, rose like a flower, and then the word exchange, like you're like exchanging things.org. So that's how people can get in touch with me.
So please follow and support Bianca. And like I said it before, she's definitely somebody to know. So Bianca, I would like to thank you for taking the time out of your very busy schedule to come to the table. This has been a very amazing interview, and I cannot wait to invite you back to the table.
Oh, I can't wait to be back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and, you know, kudos to everything that you're doing, and I can't wait to see all that God is going to do in fourth quarter.
Yes, I'm waiting on it too.
And I look forward to continuing to collaborate and work with you in the future.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. So I would like to give a special thanks to Tammy Collins-Marquis and John Schamberger. And I would also like to give a special thanks to author Kimberly McLemore and my intern Sarah from Tennessee State University and my intern Vontaria from Winston-Salem State University. You all may follow me on Facebook at Ashley Little and on Instagram at _Ashley A. Little. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Creating Your Seat at the Table, where Ashley speaks with corporate professionals, celebrities, entrepreneurs, authors, and speakers who are transitioning or have transitioned to entrepreneurship.